Scratch, go away. Spiky, don't come close to play.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Cat Stash video. Today we are going over the African Crested Porcupine. So this animal, even though it says from Africa, is the first animal that is on different continents. This animal also appears in southern Italy. The African Crested Porcupine is mainly a herbivore, but does gnaw and chew on bones, and we'll get into that later. And these animals are nocturnal, so we're going to do the showing of them during the day.
That makes no sense.
It is of least concern in terms of endangerment, and the interesting defense mechanism of the porcupine is, of course, its quills in its back, and we'll get into that later because I found some interesting facts about this animal. So here are some of my fun facts about the African Crested Porcupine. Fact number 1. They attack backwards. They will actually run backwards, which makes sense because that's where their quills are to actually hit whatever's attacking them, but I found that interesting. But these apparently have killed lions, leopards, hyenas, and even humans.
So if she gets a bit upset, then I've got a big problem, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Quick, give us some more.
Fact number 2. They collect bones at night, apparently thousands of bones. I said earlier that they like to gnaw on bones and eat them, and they will go out through the night, steal a bunch of bones, and put them in their little burrow. And fact number 3, the African Crested Porcupine will find a mate that it pairs with for a long period of time, and then lives with said mate in their burrow, and then produces anywhere from 1 to 4 offspring, usually 2 super wholesome animals. At the end of the day, it's a porcupine, and we all kind of know, what they're about. But they do like to live in burrows, and that's one of their favorite places to be. So today we're actually going to start off with their interior habitat. This is for if there's bad weather stuff and they're not in their burrows, which they might honestly just go in their burrows, but I put it here anyway. I kind of don't like the color that I made, but I didn't want to make it just an African theme as they are in partially Europe, and I want to change things up a bit. So let me know what you think of the color. I'm kind of indifferent to it, maybe leaning toward like, yeah, but it is what it is. But like all my interior habitats, there isn't really much here, just mainly the toys and some food for them to be at. Here we have the foraging pen I created for them. I kind of really liked it. I used some desert rocks around to make it a little bit more into the scenery, and then I used some other, I think, wood type of material to kind of lift it up. So it's a little bit up in the air. Mostly here, you're not going to see too much construction. I've put 2 different burrows for them to go into. There's some nice greenery, some nice vegetation they got going on. It's a nice little kind of area for them to hang out at. The walls facing into their habitat, I did the breeze box this time. I just kind of, once again, want to change it up. But I still have that one-way glass going on so they can't see the people, but the people can see them. On the back side of their habitat, I have this kind of setup going on. Those are some wood planks that are up against the wall, and then actually I think that's a wooden fence that I put acting as kind of like a shade area, I guess. Not really sure what I was doing there, but it looks nice. I think it just kind of changes up from just being a straight flat wall to adding some life to it. So with this habitat, it's a lot smaller. This is a rodent type animal, so it didn't require as much space. And so I have it in a bit smaller of a habitat, which I think the animal is going to be fine with. Same type of style with the brick on the outside, the red tiles for, those open air type of entrances, and then that other style roof I have. that is for like the interior of their habitats, like their inside habitat, and also a viewing port for the individuals. And you can see they have some nice trees, some nice shade to be at to get away from the hot sun. And here we have the open air type of exhibit that you can see both actually into their interior habitat, and then you can also see into their outside habitat. As another part, I also haven't been adding as many signs and like amenities I probably should, so I went ahead and put these here. I just feel like they would add to the realism of the zoo. And so on this, I actually do have some exterior viewing into their internal habitat that's straight from just the regular road. There's not like an off type of road like you see with the open air breezes where I put the tree bark. This you can just see in. At this point in the zoo, we're getting down to kind of like the smaller exhibits, so I feel like there wouldn't be as much foot traffic, and it would be okay. And here we have something similar I did to the aardvark all the way back ago, which I didn't really do for the addax or the African buffalo, but I really wanted to do it here, was have a nice viewing exhibit for the African Crested Porcupine. And here I have that, and there's even a little opening for a educator to throw food in so people can see that. That's one of the things Planet Zoo can do, but as you can see, no one is here. And in fact, nobody is in the zoo, and that's because I kicked everybody out due to performance issues.
Out! Nobody's allowed in the Gracies anymore! Get out of here!
And so when I was thinking about the animal and kind of what I wanted to put it on in terms of tier list, I was originally planning to do something lower. It was a porcupine. You know, it's a porcupine. But, you know, I kind of changed my mind a little bit on that. At the end of the day, it's still a rodent-type animal, and, you know, I personally don't think it's that exciting, but the fact that it has killed humans before, and leopards and lions, I thought was pretty cool, and they apparently like their nuclear family, so I'm thinking, you know, a solid C tier, pretty average, I would say. You know, I mean, they've done some cool things, right? But I think that's just kind of where I'm going to put this animal. So let me know if you think the African Crested Porcupine should be a higher tier, lower tier, what your thoughts are on this animal. And I did want to share with you guys that we do have an albino porcupine. Anytime I get one, I always want to share that and show them off. They are a bit uncommon, and we do have one here. So, here's my albino African Crested Porcupine. So I hope you enjoyed today's video over this interesting animal. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff, and I will see you next time for the next animal.
It's not like the others play, but they look out